In this module, I will specifically talk about the framework proposed by Annabella Carvalho in her 2008 publication. This framework was aimed to analyze the discourses generated in mainstream print media, especially newspapers, and uh, and this focuses on what kind of analysis we can put such discourse up to, and she focuses on various structural, physical, in other words, or ideological aspects which can be investigated. I'll explain them one by one as we get along. First, I will just talk about how the data can be gathered in this topic of developing an analytical framework for media discourse. Uh, Frankly speaking, a critical discourse analysis investigation begins with an assumption that there is some kind of problem in the society about which a discourse is being generated. uh, in relation to this framework, that discourse is being generated in print media, and that discourse needs to be investigated in order to uh, find that problem out properly, and to find is there any exploitation or discrimination in the presentation of that problem in the media. So first of all, we need to start with uh, the identifying some kind of discourse about a problem in print media, and then identifying them is the first step to start collecting mediated text. So just when you think there is a problem and you have some text being produced in the print media, just start collecting it, just start reading about it, and you need to see, you initially you might start with a broad range of collection of the text about it, though it may be reduced to the newspaper media only. The constitution of a corpus of news text is very important. You collect uh, a range of discourses or texts being produced about that particular problem, and then you can start minimizing them by selecting the text based on your purpose. And there could be multiple selection criteria. I'll just talk about. Once the collection of text is done, then you can start with an open minded reading of text without very specific questions. In the beginning, you can start with some open minded reading. Do not have any assumed hypothesis, though you cannot free your mind completely uh, 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 from these assumptions, but still try to make first reading very open minded without any specific agenda or questions in the mind. Then a critical reading, a critical thinking, a spirit of skepticism is very important, which would help you to identify some key features in that text. So, even first reading, you can find some interesting areas, but in second reading, you can find some areas where you find there needs to be some kind of analysis. So, second reading probably would be more useful, though you cannot ignore the importance of first reading also. Some of the question you might ask from yourself while reading those texts about a certain problem are, why do some things get said and others do not when a certain problem is being presented in print media, and you have some kind of feeling about that problem in a society? So you probably would be surprised that certain aspects are being highlighted more and others are not, or the vice versa. So you probably would think about, or may find, maybe may not be in some presentations in the media, but in most of them in today's world, you probably find some aspects being highlighted more than others, and it may be based on the ideology of the writer, a newspaper writer, or maybe the editor's policy, or the general ideology of the newspaper. Could be any factor behind, but you probably would pick certain points which are being highlighted more than others. Then how are things said, and what are the possible implications of that? In what ways the things are being said? What discourse strategies? What kind of choice of words have been employed on there? That can also be an interesting area to be looked into right in the beginning when you are selecting the text. and what is absent from the text. What you know should be a part of the text about a certain problem, but it is not there. That could be another important early finding. The first reading of the data will help you identify significant debates, controversies, and silences about the data, and that could probably the first step in your analysis. Uh, uh, from selecting a text for deep analysis from already read text would be a challenge. You could use multiple ways of doing it, maybe a multi-stage stratified random sampling, maybe sometimes convenience sampling, if that is applicable, doesn't hamper your deep investigation. But random sampling can also be applied where you pick text without any judgment, and you just pick them randomly, and then the things can be chosen from one news outlet, and at from one moment in time or from multiple moments of activity regarding that problem, when maybe the reporting about that problem was rigorous in the media, so you could pick those critical moments which were important about that news item, and you just uh, collect text based on that. uh, the selection of text or reselection of text after early reading is very important, and there should be some clear formula. There could be a combination of comprehensive analysis in selected periods with analysis of critical discourse moments. As I said earlier, these moments include those moments in which activity about a certain problem was greater in the society, and that was reported repeatedly uh, in the mainstream print media. So, these moments involve specific happenings which may challenge the established discursive positions, and there could be multiple factors behind this, including some kind of special political activity, some scientific finding, new revelations about a certain phenomena in the society. The construction of a chronology of events about a certain event based on news reporting is also an important step in the analysis, and that would help you identifying key moments in the development of the discourse about that particular problem. Then the questions which may be asked while you are identifying critical discourse moments may be, did arguments change? Arguments developed and change about a certain problem. Did new or alternative views arise? That can be when a new voice or new argument arise about a certain phenomenon which is already under discussion in a society. That could also be a critical moment when you find a new direction or new revelation. To cut it short, I would say that the framework which was proposed by Annabella Carvalho can be summed up in the points in front of you. It consists of two major features. Number one, textual analysis, and number two, contextual analysis. In textual analysis, we can talk about layout and structural organization, objects and actors, language, grammar, rhetoric techniques which have been employed, then ideological standpoints, discursive strategies, and in contextual, we can not only analyze synchronic points, how different discourses or different texts were produced about the same problem at the same time. And we can also go for the diachronic analysis where applicable, how discourse developed in certain phases of history. So just developing a chronological order of the events which are related to certain texts can also be helpful. So these are various aspects of the framework which have been developed by Carvalho. In the following modules, we will talk in detail about them.